Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, whenever you may be watching and checking out this video here on Facebook or YouTube. I just say hello. My name is Pastor Bruce Bowerman Jett. I am the transitional minister here at First Christian Church of West Palm Beach, Florida. I know I keep saying that. People are like, why do you say First Christian Church, West Palm Beach? I've been here now in Florida for over a year, and I still have to remind myself that I am not somewhere in Ohio serving a congregation. Because you're right, when I served at First Christian Churches in Ohio, I didn't go First Christian Church of Kenton, Ohio. I didn't say all that. I just said First Christian Church. Uh, I just have to remind myself that I'm in West Palm Beach, Florida, and the beautiful weather and warmth and rain and all the other things. Starting to see some weather from up north in Ohio. Some of my friends and family this past week seeing temperatures in the upper 30s, lower 40s, which is a little chilly for the end of August, even for Ohio. And enjoy that. No. And again, they'll remind us when, it's 117 degrees here that, it's cool and it's the leaves and they change and things like that. But uberly blessed, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that you've taken a few moments wherever in your day, in your life, go warm, cold, or in between, to check into this video. And as I try to do one of these every week to lift things up in prayer, try to be as available as I can in the life of the church. If that's sending me a message, calling the church, sending an email, an opportunity. I'd love to talk about life. I love to talk about the life of the church, and just not just life of the church, about what's going on in your life. This life is at times very tricky to navigate from day to day, week to week, hour to hour, sometimes minute by minute. And we are in this thing called life together, and it is a privilege to walk alongside. If you have got questions about God, about what it means to be a disciple, what it means, I'm thankful that you're at least asking those questions. There's somehow in this world that there's this perception that this is the answer. You should just read page Matthew 5 and done. But it's not that simple. It's not that simple. I wish it was, but it's not. And it is a process and being church together. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to go through that process, whatever that may look like for you. And just know whenever you're ready, it doesn't have to be walking in this scary building. It can be meeting somewhere for coffee, or just a way to connect where you are and where I am, and a way to build relationships among each other. And so I'm thankful for that. And so wherever you are this Friday, as you're checking out this video, spending some time, know that you are loved right where you are. Forget what's on the news. Forget what you hear or see elsewhere on Facebook or Instagram or wherever else. Just know, from my heart to you, that you are loved right where you are. And none of us have got all of our baggage all perfectly put away. We're all again, working through this throughout the entire life. Life is not an event, it's a process. And doing that, and how we do that together. And so we've been spending some time all this year just looking at Jesus. His teachings, his ministry, the work that he did, and again, seeing people as people. Not because they were immigrants or dirty or poor or rich or whatever. He just saw people as people, and he didn't really care. And we in the church sometimes guilty of it. People, I don't want to say the church, I should say Christianity, sells this notion that, you read, here it is, standing from our pulpits, that Jesus would have condemned these people. And that's what we as men have done, is interpreted things and have then again cast it upon people. And Jesus' entire ministry, his entire life, had nothing to do with any of that. He didn't condemn people, he didn't hate people. He didn't Sure, did he probably dislike people? Sure, it's a human trait. Jesus perfect at everything he did? Probably not. But he just saw people. Realizing we all need to eat, we all bleed, we all cry, we have emotions. And he just wanted to know, to share that nobody was alone in this notion. And so we've been looking at this angle. What does it mean to us? Not what some person says on social media, or what we hold material to ourselves. Jesus is here. And how are we going to be like Jesus? And so last week we looked about, it's more about about being community more than me. It's not about me. All my preferences is not about what I think. It is about community. What does the community need? And being together, knowing that we're not walking alone, is so important. And this week, continuing that theme, we're looking at a passage where Jesus talking about standing on solid foundation, not on slippery sand. If you've been here in South Florida, probably a lot of things that are, if you live in a condo, you probably have, this after the condo that collapsed down by Miami a few years back. And now there's this thing going on about these assessments and fees, and this notion about making sure that buildings that are close to water, that on sand, is being able to withstand not a hurricane, just be able to stand as things slip. Because when things start to slip, the house comes tumbling down, as we saw. And pray for, again, what happened there in Miami. Sure, there's a lot of politics with all that. My point is still the same. Our lives need to be built upon something solid, not slipping sand. And so this notion, continuing this theme of what Jesus is teaching here, is that we live in such a world that we need quick fixes versus investing for the future. There is moments and times we do need quick fixes. I can think numerous times. I drive old cars, right? And I am not the mechanic. Tom is the mechanic. I am not the one that help you fix anything mechanically. However, I have had times where a hose is blown off, or a bumper has come undone, or the muffler has come detached from the car, and now I'm dragging along. And the quick fix is, well, hey, I've got some duct tape, I've got some type of strap or something, or a bungee cord, or something that I can kind of, in the moment, solve the problem so I can at least get to a destination to do it. Those are quick fixes. But those aren't permanent fixes. Those are just enough to get to somewhere. Now I've got to invest in actually fixing the problem. But the lesson that Jesus is teaching this week to us is that we typically are satisfied with a quick fix. That's fine. I put some duct tape on the bumper. I don't need to do anything else with it. I have this problem with addiction. I'm just gonna do this one thing. I have a financial problem. I'm just going to do this quick thing that will at least get me out of this crisis. Our leaders at times in this world, again, only focus on the quick fix instead of the long-term investment. I think of the church that I grew up in and served several years ago, that they had a dome roof. And oftentimes it would leak into the attic and then into the sanctuary and below. And for years, the solution, and God bless them, they did finally fix the problem-ish, is the solution was to put more buckets into the attic to catch the water. And if you come Sunday, I might, if I can find it, picture of multiple, I think there was like 40 some buckets at one point up there in the attic catching the water from the roof. It's a quick fix. It saves from destroying the plaster and the drywall and everything below in the sanctuary. However, it's not an investment for the future. Eventually, the roof is going to get in. It means we have to invest in the present. That gives us an investment to the future. That's why some of us do that, right? We invest in the stock market, a retirement account. It's not for the present per se. It is to prepare something for the future, the investment of the future. What does that mean for us in West Palm Beach in Florida? It means as we look forward, as we are looking in our hearts and our minds, as we're thinking about our ministries and our work and the things that we do, sure, we can just do a quick fix. We could just solve this one little problem over here. We could help one person not be hungry tonight or live on the street tonight. But how do we invest in our community? How do we invest in our folks that participate in the life of this church? How do we participate in those that pass us by to make a difference? Not just in the moment, but for generations to come. It's the age-old question. And so I'm going to dive deeper that we first have to begin that foundation. We have to imagine, we have to be willing, and what we are looking at here as First Christian Church of West Palm Beach, are we at a moment where we might need to renovate, meaning not physically, not this building, but necessarily our foundation of who we are. What is our foundation? Of course, it's God. But how do we secure that foundation so that we build ministries that we can impact our community? We can invest into our future. And it's not just dollars, our resources, our time, our gifts, to withstand the long haul that got us, just as those they did for us today. So that we could be in a position to imagine the difference we can do in this world. There's a lot here. What is Jesus teaching us? What does it mean individually? And what does it mean corporately? It's changing the mentality, getting out of, it'll work for now. Pay our bills, we're good. To actually crafting and creating and cultivating a plan of how we grow, how we thrive, how we love, how we be church. So I know it's Labor Day weekend. I know there's a lot of things to go do, but I hope you'll take some time to either stop by and visit our service online on Sunday, or physically stop by the building on Sunday, or if you have a prayer, or would love to have coffee, or love to talk more about what Jesus really taught. Not what may just get the most popular news or what may come up on the top of our Google searches, but truly what is happening in our hearts. I would love to talk more and explore more of this passage again this Sunday. We do gather 8:45 for Cafe Agape. We are in the book of Acts, continuing to move forward with that. I believe we are Acts 15 maybe. You'll have to come Sunday, find out where we are. Again, you don't have to read this and study up on this. It's a conversation, and we have some breakfast together. And then worship again, 10:15, where we'll study this passage in Matthew about what Jesus is teaching us, about how we need not to do quick fixes. Quick fixes is not in our best interest. We need to invest for our future. Let me offer a quick word of prayer as we prepare for the weekend. God, I just thank you as we labor through our lives, that we give our all of all to you. We sometimes can't figure out what our next step, our moments should be in this world, but God, you give us people, you give us courage, you give us strength, you give us open the doors of possibilities that help us in our faith. We see Jesus just as it was, a man that walked this earth that was just trying to show that stop making so much out of it. just see the world, the planet that God created for us, that gave us air and wind and oxygen, and the people that He brought into this world, that it shouldn't be an exclusive class and only exclusive class, that we are all God's children, regardless where we may fall on the political spectrum or where our financial class may lay. And that God, you call us individually and corporately, as a church, as a community, of how we don't just solve one little problem, that we work toward the bigger things that we have found in this world. To be your hands and feet, to love this community, to love one another right where we are. Be with us this weekend, and those that travel, and those that are ill, and those that just need your mercy. That we are your children, and we are thankful for that blessing. In your name we pray. Amen. Church, it's a blessing to be with you this Friday. I look forward to seeing you online or in person this coming Sunday at worship. Be blessed and be a blessing.